Yeah, I mean, I'm just quite marvelling this pomp and ceremony and tradition. We've just been seeing the funeral procession making its way down the Mall, led by Mounties of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, who are followed by representatives from the National Health Service. Prof, if I could come back to you, often at times of loss like this and grief, families can come together. And we saw that quite powerful image of Prince Harry and Prince William outside Buckingham Palace meeting the public. Do you think that this could be an opportunity to bring the family together and perhaps bring Harry back into the fold?
Well, yes, there has again been a lot of speculation about this. For myself, I think that obviously the family are trying to show unity out of respect for the Queen, and that's how I saw that walkabout that Harry and Meghan did with William and Kate. Apart from that, there hasn't been a lot of indication of any type of reconciliation between them. It will be very interesting. This is one of the challenges that Charles has really on the immediate horizon, is to get his own family in order, as it were. And I think that will be very necessary, but I imagine that the royal family want to wait and see what is in Harry's memoir before they really broach more of a reconciliation, because I think they would be very afraid that things they said possibly in confidence would then immediately possibly get produced in a Netflix documentary. So I don't see at the moment that there's any great warmth being shown between the royals and Harry and Meghan, but I may have got that wrong.
Quite interesting, I know, because one knows how private the royal family are. I mean, there are diaries that the Queen has that we, I suppose, will have to wait a very long time to ever know what's written in them, if ever. So to start seeing Netflix documentaries and memoirs from living princes is something that we don't really know. We never see those kind of things happen, do we? But yeah, should be very interesting. Just on a side note, something we may not have seen or spoken to, and then I'm going to hand you over to Sophie because I know she's got a question for you, Prof. But when we do have a look on top of the on top of the coffin, there's a big bunch of flowers there. If you've noticed them, and it's this was actually put there by King Charles. He put this on top of the coffin with a little note, and I've seen the zoom into the note a little bit, but it's saying, "In loving and devoted memory, Charles R." The note was placed on top of it with a wreath of flowers. These were apparently cut from the garden of Buckingham Palace, Clarence House and Highgrove House. The flowers and foliage have been chosen. All of their symbolism represents something. They include rosemary for remembrance, myrtle cut from the plant that was grown from a sprig of myrtle in the Queen's wedding bouquet, an ancient symbol of a happy marriage. So just a little side note, if you have been noticing that note and flowers on top of the coffin. Sophie, let me hand it over to you now.
Prof, I think for the African continent, those countries that were colonized by the British monarchy, there are mixed views in terms of how they should handle this moment. Some are aggrieved. If you go to Kenya, you talk about the massacre of the Mau Mau. When you look at South Africa, you also have people who are saying, when you look at the crown, that literally, you look at the Cullinan diamond, what must happen to it. But it speaks to a bigger picture of people saying, yes, the Queen did indicate that she was not happy with the colonialism and apartheid, but she didn't go far enough. And also people saying, let's talk reparation, let's talk repatriation. What is your view? What, in terms of your engagement with people, particularly in the United Kingdom, what's your view about that kind of a sentiment where people are saying, we are not going to mourn?
I think this is a very crucial aspect that you've raised. You know, we're watching all this pomp and ceremony that is, you know, magnificently orchestrated and very moving. But we do have to remember that while many people look at it and see a glorious past, that is ever present in this procession, many people look at it and remember an inglorious past, as you've just raised. And I do think that's going to be a big challenge for Charles, because people in the UK, generally speaking, it's the younger generation, the Generation Z, that are quite, let's say, anti-monarchy and raise these issues of diversity and inclusion.